Hello everybody and welcome to the Open 5 for SSA RLCS review. My name is Pyro J. I'm an SSA RLCS analyst, been there for 4 years covering this region. I'm going to talk to you about how Open 5 is going to look with the top teams, who made top 16 and who didn't. Big shout out to ACGL_alpha for their Twitch streams every single main event Saturday and Sunday for these RLCS Opens. Go follow them on Twitch. Go tune in to the action. We got a lot to discuss. Sorry guys, I have no camera today, and that is because I have a broken part, so we'll get to that later. By the way, if you're not subscribed, please do. Covering the region all season long and off season, trying to create events for these guys. Go sub up. I'm close to 1,000. It'd help a lot. Before we get to the top 16, I really want to talk about the teams that did not make top 16. This will cover 2 parts. Part 1 is the teams that are EU2, basically, that are trying to take some prize pool cash from the SSA RLCS region. And then they failed to get top 16. So it's kind of a point and laugh session. Let's just get through that quickly. This one's going to take longer because the most embarrassing star performance goes to Akimbo Esports. This is a team that was literally a Game 7 away from making top 4 in the last regional. Check this out. Game 7 OT loss against Akimbo. Fun fact, they got a Game 7 OT win there in the lower bracket one to get to this stage. But yeah, basically almost a top 4 team in the last region and then failed to make top 16. What happened? Well, take a look. They lost against Skill Steel, Ravi, and Devourer of Haiba. Let's go, my SSA goats. And they then lost to a Spanish team of antisocials, and then they forfeit. Listen, I don't know the story behind this. It looks like a rage quit. Genuinely looks like a rage quit. It looks like they're like, I don't want to play 5 rounds of Swiss. One team absolutely threw their controller. It stopped working and they couldn't play the game. That's an assumption. Maybe a player didn't have time to play the entire 5 rounds of Swiss. Maybe a player got sick. Maybe a player got bad news and couldn't play. I don't know the story, but that's what it looks like. And this is insane for this caliber of a team to lose the first rounds of Swiss and then not play. My one huge grievance of this is, guys, if you're going to steal a spot from a local team of a developing region, at least play the games. So that is my rage. But yeah, anyways, that's what happened to Akimbo. I'm not even going to say some of these player names. But here are your EU2 players. Look at the names. And I guess just point and laugh because they couldn't even get top 16. 160 ping, 180 ping. Doing you pretty bad. Okay. Yep. Got some French players. We've got some Italian players. Yep. Love to see that. Crazy Time usually make top 16 and then some. Nearly top 8, but they failed to do it this time. Way to go, guys. A Spanish Amina team here. We got a English Amina team here. Oh, where is is it Rixie? No, it's not Rixie. It's Kexi. Oh, he might be in top 16. We'll talk about that later. Okay, but yeah, this is the biggest confusion point at the end of this part. So this is the Niger flag, and I have not seen a player from Niger compete in RLCS SSA before. And then you're telling me the first time I see them is the time that they're all named Smurf? Really interesting. Like, at least for the EU2 players, we can kind of name and shame. But now for these guys that get to fly under the radar, I don't know what's going on with the administration here. Maybe the admins can't scrutinize teams and player names until they get to the top 16. But the fact that these guys get to fly under the radar kind of frustrates me. So that's that. There's your teams, EU2 and beyond, that did not make top 16. Let's move on to the actual teams that have a worthy storyline, and we start with DeathCloud Esports. Couldn't make it. Got to round 5 of Swiss. Got to game 5. 1 step away. Great work, guys. Way to put in the work. I think with Eliakim they have made top 16, but this time fall just short. Haiba, a similar story. Got to round 5 of Swiss. Lost the game 5 against Cristobal Cologne, a top 4 team of the last regional. That is just tough on the Bookles or Swiss or whatever you want to call it. White Rabbit Gaming, unfortunately, only got a win off a forfeit. I think a tough look for them. but I want to give these guys credit because they're still working hard every single open. You got the Goober Gang. Zef's an exciting player to watch around with these Reunion Island boys. Unfortunately, falling short this time around. Tristan's up with a couple Portuguese players. You got Jerome and friends. Again, for these teams, you can see quite a few of them down in this red section. The Swiss just couldn't make it. But Death Cloud Esports and Haiba, your teams that come to round 5, game 5 of Swiss. So close to top 16. Unfortunately, their story for this regional ends there. Let's get it. Top 16. It is time to talk about these teams. You want to look at the rankings real quick? And your top 4 teams are really right here in the top row. Top 3 for sure cemented in Foot Esports, Hey with Riz, and Limitless. If you haven't been following SSA, basically Limitless and Foot Esports made every grand finals of the first split, but for this past regional, this second split, Hey with Riz 4-0'd Limitless this time around to knock them down to lowers and lose to Foot Esports. So we did not get a repeat of the grand finals, but instead it was Hey with Riz making it to the grand finals, pushing Foot Esports to game 6. That leaves the rankings as such. Foot Esports with a lot of headway here against Limitless, a team that has so much work to do in order to make the Raleigh Major. And at this point for Worlds, the story is just about over unless Foot really collapse. Yeah, that's the reality right now for this top 16. Let's cover the other teams up. Labash, to me, is a firm top 4. That's still a big question mark for a lot of people, but I think they put in the work to prove that. 77 blocks, high highs, low lows. Twinzer and Twister have competed in SSA RLCS for a long time now, and they bring the firepower, but at times just fall crazy short. You could see this team in top 4. You could see them lose the first round. Relentless, Zany, combining with the 2 EU players. Energizer, this is really a 1v3 moment. Everything that Star and Zany can do to empower Energizer to make insane plays is what's pushing them forward. That's not to say they're not doing anything, but that is where they're going to reach their peaks. This was probably the most disappointing thing to see. I believe I've met Shallow at CRL Worlds, played for Setu Esports for the Irish collegiate team, and they all seem like great guys. But now Shallow is, playing in SSA RLCS. I don't know, man. We'll have a look. Really? I don't know. It kind of makes it sound like, oh, it's so innocent. We're just here to take a little bit of prize pool. I don't know, man. Shallow. If everyone jumps off a bridge, you jump into, I guess. You got the Portuguese team of Strive, Lazy Bear. This is a player that we've seen a lot compete in SSA RLCS. He'll bring some firepower to that team. Pony Jiu-Jitsu, this is an awesome story. Eagle and Tashao. Tashao was like one of the craziest stories of last season. The youngest player to qualify for RLCS main event at 13 years of age. I believe they're 14 now. I've hosted some show matches for Eagles to play through, and as an exciting player to watch, Reshiram, I haven't seen much of. Genesix. This is your team that could really spoil the party. I like him now with Daps and Declan. Congrats to them for making top 16 this time around, and I'm excited to see what they can do in GSL. I don't have a lot to say about We Love Farming. Triple B's crazy cool. Blade, Bigfoot, and Breezy in top 16. That's the same main event. I mean, I feel like these players struggled to get top 16 back in the actually closed era of SSA when it was really just the region. Now they're still putting in the work to make top 16 now. Congratulations, boys. CosmiCo, your other SSA team to keep an eye on. This has been, Cam has been on the number 2 SSA team for 4 years now. And this time he's combined with Weelu and Wordy. Back when these two coupled up with Sweaty, they were the one to rival Limitless. Maybe they can put it all together this event. We'll see. There's Kexi. Upstanding dude. Has always kind of combined efforts with SSA players. This time around, Mina in English. So, I don't know. A little unfortunate to see, but hopefully they're at least scrimming some SSA teams. That'd be nice to hear. Antisocial, Spanish team, Cristobal Colon have combined efforts with guns. To me, this all comes down to how well they play together. Cristobal Colon got their peak in the last event in the top 4, but now they've combined efforts with an SSA player. Guns, if you guys don't know, if you guys are new to SSA scene, this is kind of I like to think of it as the Kofor of SSA. Kofor's a guy I've been watching for like 3 years now, and I've always talked him up. He can mechanically diff any player in the region. His aerial ball control is unbelievable. I'd say the same for Guns. He's the biggest come-up star, really, of SSA. I think a lot of people agree with that in assessment of the region. And now he's put on a team that can really pack a punch. Will this elevate them to the next level? That's a big question. But yeah, we get to GSL. We finally get to the predictions. Thanks for hanging around. That took 10 minutes. Maybe this will just take a few. I want to fly through some of these predictions, just talk quickly about what I'm expecting to see. Triple B, go off, boys. Give Foot hell. But Foot, to me, are a clear shoo-in for top 8 and beyond. But Bosch and Genesix. Now, I'm putting this at a 3-1. And the reason for this is these guys have met twice. Back at the beginning of the season, Genesix, I think, took them to game 5, or they have even won. But in Open 4, they met and Labosh swept. Listen, Genesix have had a little more time to combine efforts like with Eliakim, so I expect them to deal a little more damage and maybe upset. But 8 or 9 times out of 10, Labosh take this win. Gotta go with my brain rather than my heart here. Cristobal Cologne should move forward. I trust the efforts of Shallow and crew over Domino's Pizza here, and moving on through that, Foot will take the win over Labosh. You get to the lower bracket, and this is a classic little local matchup here. I'll give it 3-1 Genesix, and then I think they do fall short of the Simport team. Do they, though? Ah, man, this is tough. This is tough. I know Genesix can do it, so screw it. I'm going to say they will. I don't have much to say about these two teams, I'm going to be honest, but I'll give Labosh the win anyway, and that should be how this thing goes. Foot Esports, Cristobal Cologne, Genesix, Labosh is the optimistic viewpoint. Maybe the more likely viewpoint is that we'll have a look make it instead. But let's head over to Group B. Hey will be a quick run. This is Spanish for Spanish. 77 blocks and Relentless is probably your most difficult prediction in terms of the upper quarterfinals matchups. I talked about 77 blocks. They have high highs, low lows. To me, if 77 blocks play their game, they'll beat Relentless, even with Relentless being a Game 7 OT away from top 6. But 77 blocks, I think, have made a top 4 this season, and they've got the chance to take out pretty much anybody except for the cemented top 4 of this region. Taking Limitless over putting Jitsu. I am going with a CosmiCo here. Gonna go with the CosmiCo here. I don't think today's the day that CosmiCo take out Limitless. Again, it's one of those things that, hey, CosmiCo, you can do it once you prove you can do it. At this point, Limitless still stand tall as the within the region leaders, putting the work to do so. And CosmiCo has the potential to win this series, but they're a different team without guns, and I gotta see that happen. Hey will follow up pretty solidly here. 77 blocks can give this team a run for their money too, but this is where things get tough because it's my first time, I think, seeing anti-socials this time around. This is going to be a tough match to predict. I don't know much about We Love Farming either. So I'm going to go with my, gut and just say that history will repeat itself, and the fact that 77 blocks perform well. And, oh, God, it's Zany versus the CosmiCo boys. Wordy Wheelu and Cam should make top 8. And if it's up against Relentless, I think they'll have gotten just enough experience as a 3 squad to push forward over Relentless. But that's going to be a close one. That's going to be a good one. Let's get down to the interesting part, the top 8. Who wins this event? Foot Limitless against each other right off the bat. This is great for Limitless. This is what you want. You want a crack at this team as early as possible to take them down. But the last result we got out of Limitless was this regional right here, an 0-4 against Hay, an 0-4 against Foot. I'm sorry, but at the current standing, it ain't looking too hot for you. I go 1-4 for this one. Hey, with Riz, will put a decent fight, I think, against Cristobal Cologne. You got to remember that their previous match was a sweep in favor of Hay, but now they got guns, right? Cristobal Cologne has guns now. Does that push them forward for a win ultimately? I don't want to say so, but I'm hoping it produces a closer match. Now we get to the lower bracket. The Bosch and 77 blocks. To me, Bosch just have more experience playing at the playoff level, gathering wins. I think they push forward and they play a Limitless. CosmiCo and Genesix. This is such a good match, man. This is what SSA RLCS should be. This is like a semifinals right here within the region. I hope it's an exciting match to watch. I think the veteranship, though, of the CosmiCo boys will push them forward. I hope it's a close one, though. I want this to go the distance. This would be a banger SSA matchup. Keep an eye out, man, on Alike and Declan and Daps, dude. That's going to be a fun team to watch as well. CosmiCo versus Guns. I gotta be honest, man. CosmiCo playing Guns last time of Old Dog New Tricks did not go well. Yeah, here it was. They lost 1-3 against Guns and Company. How do they do with Guns and some strong import players? Probably similarly. I'm going Cristobal here. I really am. Normally I would go CosmiCo here, but their performance in Open 4 did not produce the results for me to believe in them in that regard. The only problem, though, is Guns not getting a ton of experience with this team and CosmiCo now having a full event together. Maybe it's Game 7 regardless. I'm going to stick with my gut, though. I'm going to say Guns and these Cristobal players, like, take over. Limitless haven't lost an opportunity for top 4 yet. I don't think they do here. And there's your top 4. It's the same as the top 4 last time. CosmiCo are going to be close. 77 blocks could pop off. But this is definitely your expected top 4. Unless I'm really underrating something like We Have a Look or We'll Have a Look import team. God, hey, with Risen Limitless. Oof. They have always proven that they can contest against Limitless, but will they do it again in the best of 7? Normally, I want to give Limitless a chance here, but the fact that they got swept, again, they got swept by Hay and Foot last time. They couldn't take a game. It's just too hard to predict in their favor. It really, really is. It's not to say that they will lose, but Limitless just did not provide the reasons in their 0-8 in playoffs last event for me to convincingly predict them here. You know, my heart will go another way, obviously. I love the Limitless boys, but that's where I'm going with that one. Similar effort here. And then, yeah, who's to say that Foot dropped the ball again? The only thing about Foot that I do want to say is within the context of this interview. Just listen to the question I ask. This question is just about your preparation, Leo. So I feel like, sorry, this is after they lost. This is after they won Open 4. I just want to know, are you guys grinding more this split? Has the level of preparation between last split and this split changed at all? You're practicing more, practicing less, practicing about equal?
You want me to be 100% honest?
I'd appreciate honesty, but you can give whatever answer you like.
We just spent our days in the beach before competition, like we barely touched the game. We were just chilling here in Cape Town, having fun and enjoying the weather.
Okay. All right. Well, Leoro, that's my only, you know, the bone that I'll throw to the other teams. If you're grinding, if you're assessing every bit and piece of your matchup against Foot, this is a team that is not, apparently, not doing a ton of VOD review and practicing and scrimming themselves. That's what I took from that interview. Okay, that's what I took from it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. That's what I took from that interview. And I believe that gives Hay and Limitless a step up in terms of if they're preparing, then they could pop off. Still going to give it to Foot. They got the ping advantage, man. The ping advantage goes crazy. Like, it really does go crazy in their favor. So Foot win a 5th of 5 events in SSA RLCS. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if I put my analyst brain too much to this and I should be giving more belief to our SSA local teams. And let me know who you're looking out for in particular for this event. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Kept it under 20 minutes. Hope that's okay. Tried to talk as quickly as I could and give you guys the insight that helps. See you this weekend. I'll be on the Limitless team stream, and then I'll be casting and analyzing for the weekend's events on ACGL Alpha. Bye-bye.